Welcome back, everybody. Jaysin Static with another episode of the interview series. I am Jaysin Static. You, sir, are?
I am the brutal bastard Harsh.
How long have you been in the industry, Harsh?
28 years.
28 years. 28 years, man. That's a long time. So hopefully you're going to be able to help me with some of these questions that I have.
Let's see.
Are you ready, man?
Sure.
Question number one. What is the most challenging aspect of maintaining a character or persona, and how do you keep it fresh over 28 years?
Well, a little bit of truth.
Yeah.
A little truth to your gimmick.
Yeah.
It makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
It's about all the great characters that were out there.
Yeah.
Always had a little truth to them. Stone Cold.
Oh, absolutely.
Rock.
Stone Cold, Rock,
Triple H.
Ric Flair, Warrior.
That little bit of truth to them.
Yeah.
And that just, it shows. It shows to the crowd. It shows to everybody.
Yeah. Now, over the last 28 years, have you always been the brutal bastard Harsh?
No.
Or has it ebbed and flow, like kind of changed where you started out something else?
I started out as hardcore Eric Lee.
Okay.
And it didn't last but maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
And me and Izzy Blackwell, my ex-tag team partner,
right,
we were on a road trip to Iowa, and we were talking, and I said, I think I'm gonna change my name. And he's like, what are you talking about? What are you gonna do? And I said, I think I'm gonna call myself Harsh.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me and he was like, totally fits your character.
And it's been Harsh for the last 20 plus years.
Yeah.
What was the essentially what was the goal or the idea and the concept of Harsh? What was the purpose of that?
Well, because I say things that offend people sometimes, and
right,
I'm a little rough around the edges.
Rough around the edges.
And I come off harsh.
Exactly. Man, there's nothing more to say than that, man. It's understandable. It's relatable to a lot of people, and something that I do that you've met some of my guys now, and something that I tell is always leave a piece of yourself in the process of trying to build your gimmick and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Because the best thing, it's more because we're selling emotion, right?
Exactly.
If we're not selling emotion, what the hell are we doing, right?
Got to be intense. Always intense.
Yep. All right, man. I appreciate that first question. Second one, are you ready? Harsh! Yep. Are you ready for that second question?
Throw it out there.
All right. Reflecting on the positive aspects, what do you value the most in your life?
Oh, that's easy. Family.
Family.
Yeah. They're.
What?
I have a good support system.
Good support system. Something that on one of the recent episodes that I talked about, one of the guys had this exact same question, and he mentioned his family. And something that we talked about in that episode is having a good support system in the wrestling business, because the wrestling business is so hard.
Oh, it is. Look, I traveled on the road. We did all that. Me and Izzy Blackwell, we traveled the road for months at a time. And it takes its toll on you.
Yeah.
It takes its toll on your family. You don't get to see your kids. You don't get to see your wife. And it does. If they can't support you, then you're going to fall out,
Right.
It always is.
And that, on top of that kind of toll on the family, plus you have the toll of the wear and tear on the body, your mental state, because especially when you're working banged up and everything like that, especially in the old days.
Yeah. From show to show to show and work.
I think a lot of young guys nowadays, while they do ride hard, I think it's the atmosphere today in modern wrestling is a lot different than what it was in the 80s and in the 90s.
Absolutely.
And hell, even into the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
Because I came in 07.
Right.
So, I kind of caught the very beginning of that boom, the indie boom. And it was hard back then, even on me. So I can imagine how hard it was in the early 90s whenever you started.
It was rough. We would travel, like I said, 2 months at a time.
Yeah.
You'd wrestle 4 or 5 nights a week. And it was show to show. You got done at one show, you drove another 2 hours down, 3 hours down the road. You did it again.
Was that like back running loops?
We ran
you know,
from here all the way down to Arkansas, from Arkansas all the way to Iowa.
okay.
It was just
And just hitting different companies or working for the same company.
We had a lot of the same companies. Once we got in, they brought us back.
Okay. Yeah, because that was I think a lot of new guys nowadays don't understand about in the early days, late 80s into the 90s, there was still kind of a somewhat of a territory system back then.
A little bit.
And
yeah.
They were running loot like, you know, like we're here today, we're at PWE, and PWE would run, well, it's not back PWE because they're kind of a newer company, but they would run a loop, they would run a cycle around a whole like 60, 80 mile area and
town.
And hit different towns every single weekend.
There was times we got out like in Arkansas.
Yep.
And they would do that. They'd go in a circle, 100-mile radius.
Oh wow.
And you go down, work 4 nights in 4 different towns.
Oh wow.
And then just move on.
Yeah, that would definitely be, I think this is, and it's one of the reasons why I love getting some of the guys that are from the older generations. And hopefully if and when these interviews start to blow up or get better traction, because I'm still a new channel.
Right.
So is hearing the differences between the knowledge that the new guys have and the knowledge that the old guys have. Oh, yeah. Because I'm a big believer in the knowledge of this game, the knowledge and the networking of this business.
It is.
For me, is the 2 most important things.
Oh, yeah, and you know, tell a story, man. Tell the story. That's what it's all about. That ain't about the 50 high spots you can hit.
Yeah.
It's how you get to those high spots.
And that's exactly what we're doing here on these interviews. We're telling the stories.
Yes.
In a good, impressionable light. We're not crap talking people.
No.
We're all about positivity. That's why we ended on that last question. Do you have anything to promote that you want? Merchandise, t-shirts, upcoming shows?
You can catch us at any PWE show. Pro Wrestling Epic, baby. And at JICW in Martinsville, Indiana.
You're a tag champ with Damian Blackwell. We just recently had Damian Blackwell and Halo Blackwell on. Yep. Shout out to Halo, shout out to Damian, and shout out to Izzy and Jerry Blackwell as well. Much love, guys. You know how we're going to run this out. We're going to run it out just like we always do. Jaysin Static across the board. Fight Club Wrestling Academy on Facebook. Fight Club Wrestling Academy on YouTube. And last but not least, the one and only, check out weare138co.com. That's where you get all the Jaysin Static merch, all the Fight Club merch, and all the 138 streetwear.
That's right.
Streetwear, baby. And give you guys a little tip. This is something new. Everything that's currently on the website in the next several months will be gone. Everything's new. Everything's new coming, new designs, new merch. New styles of t-shirts just like that.
That's right, man.
Custom stuff, custom clothing, one of one type stuff that I'm talking about here, guys. So check us out. Check out Harsh. Check out PWE. That's what we do here. Much love, everybody. Peace out. Thank you, Harsh.